If I could make every single e-commerce brand's color yellow, I would. How do we make ads that drive massive revenue for sales? Today, we're going to cover 6 common mistakes that are made on sale ads and how you can avoid them. Stay tuned to the very end, and I'm going to share my number one top winning sale template for paid social, specifically Facebook and Instagram, is what this is best for. Before we dive in, like and subscribe if you like how-tos such as this one, and we'll keep them coming. Our number one mistake is a complicated offer. Your offer ideally should be able to be communicated in 3 words or less. If it takes more than 5 words, it's probably not appropriate for ads. Save it for your email drip, save it for your SMS, save it for your organic. So, an example of a too complicated offer that I see a lot is the tiered sale approach. This usually looks like, 10% off of $50, 30% off of $100, 50% off of $500. It sounds great in theory, and I'm totally empathetic to why business owners approach it this way to protect their margins and increase the average order value. But it is too much to say in a social media ad when you only have, realistically 1 to 3 seconds max to get someone's attention. If you must have a complicated sale like this, either for the profitability of your business or if you're working with other stakeholders and don't have a say, then the best way to approach this if you are going to do ads is to simplify it and pick the most compelling tier. So an example of this could be up to 80% off instead of listing all the different ones. The second mistake that we see pretty often is not having a compelling offer. So it has to be simple and it has to be compelling. Do you buy something because it's 11% off? Probably not. I'm not going to assume what everyone's answer is, but for myself, definitely not. If it's something that I was planning on buying anyway, then the 11% might, get me to cross the finish line sooner, but it's definitely not going to move the needle when we're looking at blended ROAS on the ad platform. Now, we do want to acknowledge there's multiple viewpoints to look at the data, but the point here is an 11% off ad is very unlikely to drive a big performance shift. And instead, you're really better off prioritizing doubling down on the quality of your evergreen creative. So if this is your situation and you're not running at least a 40% off offer or at least $30 off in value, then it's probably more appropriate to just let your existing ads keep going. They're already optimized. The algorithm already knows what they look like, who responds to them. And what you're going to see typically is the conversion rates will go up as you have the sale on your site. The third mistake that we see is making ads too busy. For sale ads especially, we want one focal point. And what should that focal point be? The 80% or whatever the quantitative offer is that you're providing. You want to keep their eye on the prize on your amazing offer. Here are some examples that are really difficult to digest as you're scrolling through Facebook. Remember, the 3 words only guideline I mentioned before is definitely going to help with the busy factor. But even if you stick with that, but have a whole bunch of different creative elements in, and there's not a clear place to land the eye, you're going to lose a lot of people. An exception to this rule is if you don't have a compelling offer. If your offer is 20% off, then consider that potentially some sprinkle on the cupcake that is your amazing product. Here's an amazing example that I really love that adds that sprinkle to something else that's compelling for top of funnel prospecting. They have a great, short, easy to digest customer testimonial, and then they've paired that with the 20%. They also, in a really smart way, use color to draw your eye to the elements that matter most to something who's scrolling through the feed to get them to stop and take another look. A big reason that ads winds up getting busy is because people try to explain their whole business or their whole value proposition, even the entire elevator pitch, into an ad. And it's really important to remember that the goal of ads is to get attention. It is not to explain the whole story. If they want to know your life backstory and how you came to be here and all the deep details about the product and the offer, then they're going to click on your profile that's above the ad, or they're going to click on the CTA button and go to your website. You don't have to fit it all in. And in the case of sales, I would even say not including any description of what it is usually is the top performer. So that may feel uncomfortable, but just want to plant that seed. The fourth mistake that I see is running sale ads, launching them, but not running them long enough. The Facebook algorithm does not live its best life when we pause and launch ads on the daily or even every other day. It's really not appropriate to use social ads if it's a flash sale. As I said, SMS, email, organic, great places to do it. But most of the time on Facebook, for paid placements, you're going to see higher performance in the existing ads with that bump in conversion rate after they land, and you're often going to see the flash sale ads massively underperform. I've done this experiment countless times, and it's really frustrating, but it does make a lot of sense. You're going to be pausing the ads before the algorithm is able to learn about it, learn who responds to it, and then you're pausing it before it finds that efficiency sweet spot. So if you're not going to run it for at least a week, just don't do it is my opinion, but you know, live your life. The fifth mistake for most brands is running discounts every week. It causes problems. It's going to attract low average order value and low lifetime value customers. There are some business models where this makes sense. Like if you are a marketplace and what you're known for is offering like the cheapest prices on things, then go at it. There's a really successful Twitter affiliate account called Fat Kid Deals. And he's not an e-commerce brand, but I think it's an example where building up an audience that is, looking for discounts makes sense because that's what he's going to consistently deliver. But most e-commerce brands are trying to attract and build an audience of people who get them, who see the value of their product, who love what they do and are willing to pay full price, if not today, at some point for the offering. Word of caution, I've seen many a brands go down a downward spiral, I should say, launching sale after sale, depending on that as their lever to make Facebook ads work for them. And it does not end well. The sixth mistake is not testing. Try at least 2 variations minimum, please. I'm asking for your sake. Sneak in some type of business hypothesis because every brand is different and what different audiences respond to varies. And you want to start to develop a playbook continuously so that when that Black Friday period rolls around, you are ready to go. You know what works for your brand. And you can start to refine that. So if you're wondering what variables you should test, here's a few you could try. Color, the primary color. For sales, to be honest, red and yellow. If I could make every single e-commerce brand's color yellow, I would. But, there's a good reason I'm not the creative director at Growth Hit. Another thing you could try is dollars off, the full value versus percentage off. Anytime I've ran this usually comes out to like the higher number works better, but sometimes I'm surprised. People psychologically don't always respond to discounts in the same way I would think. And you can find a lot of books on consumer psychology. Predictably Irrational is a book I really like. So, you could nerd out forever about that one. You could introduce price anchoring, have the price with a slash out and test that against the percentage off. Lots of different things you could tweak. If you are using product imagery in the ad, which to be honest, I generally don't see perform best, then try different hero products, different flagship products, and see which one is the better hook. So lots of variables you can try. I'm sure you can think of more, but the key is to test hypotheses that are going to give you a learning that you can actually act on in the future. All right, so those were the 6 mistakes I wanted to share today. And now we're ready for the final reveal. What is my number 1 sales template for ads that work? Ta-da! I know this might be underwhelming, and I did personally make this, and I am by no means a designer. My creative director did not approve this. That said, pretty consistently anytime I've been allowed to test a text only ad pretty close to this template, it has smoked all of the other ads that try to get in the value proposition or try to explain the product. This just isn't the time. And this is increasingly true, or rather, more true during Black Friday when you're competing with all of the sales. This template is perfect for that time, and I would say outside of that period, you should still be testing it. You will probably be surprised. I've had a lot of naysayers turn around because the data supported this template. Now, take a deep breath. That was a lot. We have 6 mistakes that you're going to avoid for this next sale that you help launch. And that's going to give you such an edge in the market. So I'm so excited. If you employ any of these tips, reach out, leave some comments, send your examples to me. I would love to engage with you. If you made it to the end of this video, I want to hear from you. Put our code phrase for this video below: dinosaurs. So if you like dinosaurs, I like dinosaurs. We can talk about dinosaurs. But just love to hear from you guys and know, if you made it to the end. So thanks for tuning in. Have an awesome day and super excited to see all of your e-commerce brands blow up.